Breathe is a thriller written and directed by Fede Alvarez, the guy who did the Evil Dead remake in 2013, and it's about a group of young burglars who decide to commit one last robbery so they can move out of their shitty suburban lives and live comfortably with some cash. The house they decide to rob is the home of an old blind man, so they think it's a great heist that they can get away with pretty easily, but they are dead wrong, no pun intended, because this vulnerable old blind man ends up being absolutely fucking nuts. He has like crazy good hearing because of his blindness, like some crazy daredevil shit, and he locks them inside the house and tries to kill them all. Now that sounds like a pretty standard horror movie setup for me. There's a group of kids, they're locked in a house with a murderer, pretty standard. And at the beginning you almost kind of feel bad for this guy because it's like he's just this old blind guy trying to live his life, and then these asshole kids break in and try and steal his money, and it's like you kind of feel bad for him. But no. This guy is insanely creepy. He barely speaks, he just kind of grunts and moves around, and his eyes are all glossed over because he's blind, but it's creepy, and he just looks like this weird G.I. Joe dude you don't want to mess with. And as the movie progresses, he just gets creepier and creepier as you learn a little bit more about him and as you watch him just mercilessly go after these kids. But what I love most about this movie, and what I think separates it from any other normal horror movie, is that the blind guy is in control. And he makes it known that he's in control. He locks all the doors and windows in the house, and then he shuts off the power, so there is no light at all. It is the middle of the night, no lights on, you can't see shit. And he's just like, now you know what it's like to be me. Now you're blind, just like me. And it's a fair ground, except it is not fair ground because he clearly has the advantage because he's used to living a blind life, and these kids are just like, where am I? It's terrifying because like you can kind of see things, like it's very, very dark, but you can kind of see what's going on, and you know that the characters cannot see anything. So you'll like see like the chick trying to like get away and trying to sneak around, and then you'll see the guy in the background just standing there like staring at her, kind of, but he's blind, so he's not. You know what I mean? But it's so freaking creepy because you're just like, get out, run, what are you doing? He's right behind you, ah! It is so stressful, ah! But the way these scenes are shot are just so creepy because it's so dark, and it looks very weird because the lights are off and it's supposed to look like you can't really see anything. It's kind of like when you're outside in the bright sun and then you immediately walk into a dark room and your eyes have to adjust and everything looks like weird and discolored and like very flat looking. That's what a lot of scenes in this movie look like, and it's really cool. Now when I review horror movies, I feel like I need to review whether or not the movie is horrifying. Part of the appeal of horror movies is how scary they are, so obviously you want to know if it is scary or not scary. But that's also a very relative thing, so it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm gonna do my best here. Personally, I was not very scared by this movie. I think it was very thrilling. There were moments where I had a ton of anxiety and I was super nervous and just like watching these characters being chased by this killer. My heart was racing really fast and I felt kind of uncomfortable, but I wasn't really scared. There wasn't really anything that made me like jump out of my seat or scream or get surprised or anything like that. Although there is one terribly disturbing scene near the end of the movie. I will not spoil it, but holy shit, it is fucked up. Ugh. But I think dread is what I feel most during this movie. It is a very dreadful movie to watch. I was just anxious and worried and stressed out and just consumed with dread. Especially since the majority of this movie is so quiet and every character is trying to be as quiet as possible and not breathe, hence the name of the movie. And it made me feel really anxious and like I shouldn't be breathing because it was very quiet in the movie, so I could hear myself breathing and I was like, no, shut up, stop breathing, he's gonna hear you. I don't know why the fuck I was doing that. You're not in the movie, Steph. But I just wasn't really aware of that at the moment, okay? I was immersed. So yeah, Don't Breathe. Definitely more of a thriller than a horror movie, but I digged it nonetheless. Did you see it? Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And leave a comment with your favorite horror movie if you so wish. My personal favorite is Audition because it's just really, really fucked up. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Steph Koza and this is Rated N.